we do it today? It's Winger Vat with fishheadvideos.com. At the bottom of these videos, so in order that we can do more, and it's good for you as well, I'd like you to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and that way you're going to get future notifications for the future. So if you could do that, we'd appreciate that very much. The fly we're going to do today, and this fly is, I'm tying for Georgetown Lake. It'll work anywhere in a still water situation. And it's an adult salmon fly. Excuse me, not a salmon fly. It's an adult damselfly. So it's again, as with all my flies, it's a simple fly. It's not hard to tie, and under the right conditions, fishes very, very well. All right, let's take a look at the materials we got for today. The hook is a size 10, 2x long. I wanted to show you how I'm doing this to get this effect of the striping on the damselfly itself. So what I'm doing, and you can see I've already marked this one out. What I'm doing, and again, I'm simple. You can buy these already done. They're kind of expensive. They're not the right color. Basically what I do is I'm just setting this straight edge, drawing straight lines across it with a magic marker on both sides, and that's all you do. It's really easy. I experimented with a few things, and that's what I came up with, and I like it. So that's going to be the body. We got 6/0 black. Interesting enough, I tied some of these with grizzly hackle for the parachute, and as I look at the real insect, their legs and stuff is black. So truthfully, I thought that the black hackle looked better than the grizzly hackle, and the hackle itself doesn't lend itself to give you any advantages as far as seeing the insect on the water. So for the underbody, this is embroidery floss. It's a really good match for the color. And I experimented with several different things, and that's what I thought came out the most realistic looking was the embroidery floss. That's the little piece that I've got off of that. The wing case is going to be white polypropylene. And I already said something about the hackle. So with that, let's get this fly going. And again, when you're try to get a nice, clean background, don't have a lot of stuff in front of you. It makes it very, very difficult to see the fly. So the first thing we're going to do is, as we do always, is build a nice thread base. Okay, something like that. So now, and I'm just going to pre-trim this one. So we're just going to cut those edges off. So we get more of a rounded look like that, okay? So then we're going to measure about how long we want the extension to be beyond the hook. It's about a hook length from the bend of the hook to the end here. So that looks good. So we're going to do it for the front here too. So we're going to cut it. And we can shorten that up. I don't want that quite that long. Yeah, that's about right. Okay. So now I'm going to bring the thread back so that the thread is right over the point of the hook. And we're going to set that on there just about like so. Okay. And we're going to tie that in right there. Just like that. Okay. Now, I'm going to take some of this embroidery floss, and this stuff is really cheap, comes in a multitude of colors. Buy it at any hobby store, It's 6 strands. So 6 strands is way too many. I want 3 strands. I did try some just using just a regular nylon floss in a blue, and you know what, I didn't really like it. I like this better. Okay. So now we're going to bring that thread back up to the front. And we're going to just keep that right on top of the hook shank, just like that. Lift that up. Bring that all the way to the front. Okay, so now we're just going to wrap that right against that foam. Just nice uniform wraps. This way we'll keep the body uniform all the way. A couple wraps there. Okay. Good. Okay. So now I'm just going to go with on kind of a, I'll end up kind of Xing these in there, if you can understand what that means. So we're going to go like that. So these are all sloping toward the rear of the hook. And these ones then are going to be in the other direction. So we're just going to give it some segmentation. Just like that. And see how I want that tag? On a real insect, if you look at a damselfly from underneath the water, their head is a prominent feature. So basically, that extra tag at the end is the head. Okay, now I'm, like as I said, I'm going to X that in. Okay. So we're going to go just like that. All right. So as in my other ones, anytime you're doing things on your knees, if you don't use a rag underneath, I have pants that have been worn out from doing that very thing. We don't need that. Okay. So cut that square. So we want that about 1/4 of an inch is about right. Okay, so we're going to lay that right there. We're going to tie that in pretty solid. Okay, we're going to get rid of this tag. Good. Just like that. Now we're going to pull this forward. We're going to wrap against that polypropylene so that it stands on its own. You give it a roll, you can see it's going to stand there pretty good. Okay, so now I'm just going to do some loops around the base so it gives it some area for the hackle to go on. Okay, go like that. A couple on the sides, just kind of solidify it. Okay, good. Now, we're going to take this black hackle, and there's dull side, shiny side. On a parachute, you want this shiny side up. Okay, expose a little bit of stem there at the bottom. Give that a trim. Set that right against the base of the post. Oop, just like that. Okay. Now, maybe I can do some with my fingers. Get started. Okay, start at the top of the thread base. And get hold of it with the hackle pliers. Notice that this hackle is a little oversized. On a parachute, you want a little bit more surface area. Okay, so I'm just going to bring that up just like that. I'm going to tie that off right in that little crease, just like that. Usually you can just break them, sometimes not. Hold that back. Oh, I don't have a whip finisher. My bad. if you get wrapped down too, that's no big deal. We can trim them out of there. Just like that. And that gives us a pretty nice profile. That's a pretty good. And during a salmon fly, or excuse me, I keep on call these a salmon fly for hell's sake. During a damselfly hatch, they take these really, really well. They do. They're pretty explosive takes too. It can be a pretty fun hatch. And you get a little black on the bottom, so that's good. With the black and blue, it gives it a very nice contrast. But that's a pretty good bug. Like when I fish that, I usually fish that. I usually fish that with 3X or 4X tippet. Georgetown is weedy. A lot of lakes are weedy, so it gives you a little more strength, keep them out of the weeds. But certainly that's a fly that's going to produce for you. Again, that's an adult damselfly. One last, hit that subscribe button. And thanks for viewing. We hope you have more here in the future. Thank you.